All right, what's up? What's up? Finishing the day here. Traded ISEE, nice base hit kind of green day. Small size, really. I didn't really size up to the level that I should be at, but I'm definitely taking more of a conservative approach the past couple of days, just because been just the market. The market is it's giving opportunity. It's just not like very convincing opportunity. It's not how, it's been more convincing a couple months ago than it is today. And now it makes me more and more reluctant to be getting aggressive or buying extended stocks off the 9 EMA. Like, ISEE pretty much grinded over the 9 EMA, never really tested it until here. And so this whole entire move, I was like, all right, waiting for the dip. Never comes. I should have been trading these 1 minute pullbacks, looking for just 10 or 20 cents, but pretty much just watched it go without me. And then here I was looking for a 5 minute pullback, and we never got it. We pushed up a little bit more and started to fade. So I was up small green on the front side, maybe about $30 to $40, and then I had a nice dip here. Had a nice $30 dip here, and then a nice $30 or $40 dip here, which I will show you on my recording, which is very good to look at, very valuable stuff. And I also traded some other stocks, but those I'm not going to go over. I'm only going to go over DMS real quick. The other ones, not very significant, not really worth going over. Just wasn't in, like, those other stocks just were not as in play. Here, went for the red to green, breakthrough $2, sold at 201, 202. And I was waiting for it to break over VWAP and hold because I didn't want to get in below VWAP because there was definitely a good chance that this would reject. So once we popped up, went for a quick 1 minute pullback and sold on the next 1 minute candle to make a new high. So that was, I only made $27 on that. Then I shifted over to ISEE. So we'll go through ISEE on the video. So ISEE. So here I'm looking for a dip here off the whole dollar at $20. But every time it dipped down, I would kind of put it in as a position at 2002, 2006, 2004, and then look for that pop, maybe 5 or 10 cents. But every time it popped up, it would get sold back into close to $20. And so I was thinking that's still a lot of selling pressure. So I was waiting for the breakdown under $20 so I can get a better read on whether there's going to be a bounce or if it's just going to continue selling off. So here we have, I was looking at potential support. Here we kind of held this level and ran up more. So this is a potential support level, technical support level. We have VWAP right here too. And then also on the 5 minute, we have the 9 EMA. So we have three potential areas that traders are looking at that this could potentially bounce. We could see a bounce. And so that is what they call multi-time frame alignment. And that's really good, very high win rate, gives high win rate setups. And the thing I liked about ISEE was that even though the price was higher and the percentage move wasn't that big, this was only 15% at most. And what I liked about it was that the spreads were so tight. There were like 1 or 2, 3 cents at most on a $19, $20 stock. And so it was very easy to capture 5 or 10 cents in a trade and do that maybe 2 or 3 times, and you could be at your daily goal. So that's why I really liked ISEE, and I really actually went for those dips, on the backside dips on that 1 minute, on the 1 minute chart, but a 5 minute dip. Because you weren't potentially losing on the spreads. You're only losing a couple cents on the spreads. Versus if something had a bigger spread, 10 or 20 cents, then you would have trouble getting out for a profit, even if the price went in your direction. A lot of the times on the bigger spread stocks, well, I'll buy a breakout, it'll break out, and I'll try to sell, and I'm still selling at a loss because the bids haven't moved up past the breakout level. That's very, very frustrating. And this today on ISEE was nice because of tight spreads. So it's very easy to scalp the dips, scalp the breakouts, and get in and get out with not losing on the spreads. So we'll go through the video. So looking here, I just want to see what it does underneath $20. If it sells off, cool. But if it's not going to sell off and it's going to hold and reclaim $20, then I want to be in because this is a potential dip setup. So selling, 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 not really quite breaking 20 yet. It pops up a little bit more, so I'm like, okay, it could bounce. But then sellers come right back in and push us down. And here comes the push down. So I put in a starter off VWAP. And then once I saw a reclaim at 20, I was like, okay, this could be a potential bounce here. So I get in and adding to my position at 98, 2001, and 200132. And then I start selling for the pushback higher at 2007. 2010, still holding 100 shares for 2010 again. So that was a nice gain there. And now I get in again. I'm looking for maybe a potential double bottom holding the VWAP. Very good, decent entry. Not the best entry, but decent entry at 98. Now I'm looking for a break back over 20. But volume is still very light down here, so it's got to be very cautious. I'm not in big share size. And it closed at the low there, and I'm just a little bit still kind of skeptical. And here I did fall for the false breakout. I thought this would break back over previous high at maybe 2015 and then back through the VWAP after a double bottom. So I kind of was adding higher, adding higher, adding higher, starting selling some for a profit, and then getting back in for that breakout for a break back over, pop over the 9 EMA. But it didn't happen. It didn't pull through. And so I sold that for a small loss. But when we see, kept kind of selling there, yeah. So small loss there. But then when we went down underneath the VWAP, we still had some green in the tape. Volume wasn't extremely high, and we weren't really flushing. If this was a bearish setup, this would be down 1940, 1950. We'd be seeing a big sell-off. But once I saw a nice block of green, boom, right there, a nice block of green at 1990, put in my starter for it to break back over to VWAP. Now this is a potential bounce setup on the 5-minute or to 1 minute, I guess, for a reclaim. Still 100 shares because it's got to get over 20 first. Okay. Patience. I'm pretty much risking the low of this candle. So I'm risking 4 or 5 cents. So very low risk and potential maybe 2 times reward. So here you got a nice bounce, retesting those highs. I'm selling as it's retesting those highs, that last portion. And now, so I make back some of that loss. And then we get a quick 1 minute pullback. There I go for, see if it would rip right through, but it didn't rip right through. So still a little bit patient. Here, quick 1 minute pullback, getting in 300 shares, so $6,000 position size. I'm looking for a break over these 2 candles. And we get it, and I immediately take it off. I'm not looking for a bigger move. Volume is even still light on these green candles, so still very, very cautious with holding any sort of position long term. In a hot market, though, this would be a good entry and kind of hold this for a potential rip back up to the highs, and then you can see a rip through 21. But this is not really the market for that, so I'm just kind of taking my 5 or 10 cents and moving on. So that was it for ISEE. So base hit kind of day, nothing too extravagant. But let's look at the statistics. I mean, this week, very small green. Last week, small green. So that does kind of raise my eyebrows a little bit because I'm not on track to hit my monthly goal. So this could be a month. I'm completely, totally open. You know, if this month I don't hit my monthly goal, like I can't pressure myself to force myself to try to hit my monthly goal, because that actually might work against me, taking high risk setups or just not being as disciplined. If this month I don't hit the goal, then I have to be okay with that, and I have to take lessons out of it. But I do have funds to hold me over for another 5 or 6 months financially, and then after that, if really the momentum doesn't come back in 5 or 6 months, then I'm for sure probably gonna have to get another day job. But I really don't think it's gonna get to that. But I do, you know, because this month could potentially be a slow month. I potentially might not hit that $2,000 mark minimum. So if it does happen, then I'm okay with it because I do have backup funds. And the market right now is, you know, it's out of my control. The market is giving subpar opportunity, and right now I'm in a state of like a low confidence in trading. So it just really depends whether either me am going to adapt to a slower market and try my best and overcome this, and actually learn to milk some more profits out of the slow market, figuring out a way to overcome this. Or the other way is to stay conservative and wait for better opportunity, for a better market to come around. So either of those ways is actually, you know, there's no wrong way. The only wrong way is to be taking massive risk right now to try to hit arbitrary numbers in your P&L, because that will definitely work against you. So yeah, I think my best approach is stay conservative this month, and until the market heats back up, gives some better opportunity, and I can get dialed in on my bread and butter setups. And if this month I don't hit my goal, then that's all right. You know, I can learn from it, and I'm still getting better, even though my P&L is not, you know, I'm not hitting new highs. I'm still getting better because this market is teaching you trading is not about maximizing your profits every day, but in the small markets, in the slow markets, I mean, it's about conserving the gains that I've worked hard for the past couple of months. And I know a lot of people are struggling this month, and it's important not to panic and then you start to let yourself get out of control discipline-wise, and you take losses and giving back all the profits that you made the past couple of months. So if I can just coast, be conservative, even if it's small gains, I'm cool with that. I wouldn't really start to worry until maybe if by like November or December we're not having really good momentum. Then I'm gonna have to start thinking about a plan B, maybe a different type of strategy. Maybe I try to open up a new brokerage and go short. Maybe I start shorting. Maybe I pivot over to large caps. Maybe I just get another job and wait for the small caps to heat up. You know, there's definitely a lot of different avenues I can go, but for sure, I'm never going to give this up. I'm never going to stop working at this to being a successful trader, a 7-figure trader. That is the goal in the next 10 years, and maybe next 5 years, making 6 figs a year. Next 10 years, maybe trying to get in the next 10 years, definitely a goal would be hitting 1 million in profits, in net profits, $1 million in net profits. It's definitely doable. I feel like I could totally do that. I feel like it's totally in the possibilities. It's just about staying disciplined and continually putting in the work every day and showing up and not giving up, even during the hard times. And this for sure is definitely one of the more bigger slumps that we've had. I know we had a slump in January and February, but we got through that and it did start to heat up, and I was hitting new highs in my account, new highs in the month, new highs in the week. And so I expect that to happen again and hit even higher highs and hitting my goals, my bigger and bigger goals that I have for myself. So even though I'm making $2K right now a month on average, it's still 10x of what I was making a year ago. So I'm making 10 times as much as I was making a year ago. Maybe next year, if I'm making, I don't know if I would 10x. I mean, it's definitely possible I could 10x in another year. That would be like 20 to 30K a month. That's just crazy. That's like I wouldn't even believe that if the first month that happens, if I make 20K in a month, I'm gonna be like, holy crap! Like this isn't reality. This is not real. This is a dream. But I think it's totally gonna happen. It's totally going to happen, and I believe that that's just gonna be a byproduct of me showing up and trading every day. It's not exactly like I'm shooting for gotta hit 20K in the next couple of years, 20K a month, and every next couple of years. It's just about just getting a little bit better every week and every month. And then even if I can just beat my previous month by a couple $100, that's still another step in the right direction. But then I also have to remember, and you also have to remember that even though some of these months are not as big, it still doesn't mean that you aren't growing and you aren't becoming a better trader, because these months are giving valuable lessons about how to manage your risk and how to get through a slow period, because these slow periods are going to continually come back. And it's very important, these slow periods are where traders blow up and they give back months of profit and they get so discouraged and they don't want to trade anymore. That's like the worst thing that could happen. And that's happened to me before. I've given back months of profit and I was very, very discouraged. I actually quit. I actually quit trading. I said I quit and I'm done. And I took a hike. But I eventually came back. Actually, I think the next day I just sat down because my life was so boring because the trading wasn't in it. I sat down and looked at the market and I just got back into trading. Started paper trading, took a break of real live money trading until I got my confidence back. But yeah, I went through a slow period. The first slow period I went through, I panicked. And I sized up to try to make back losses because I thought that my strategy wasn't working anymore. So I panicked and I was trying to force the strategy to work. And I was like, no, this definitely works. This has to work. I know it works. So I sized up 10x to try to prove that this strategy works and that I have it and I can make money in the markets. And over the next couple of days, I gave back months of profits because it was a similar market like this, a slow market, hard to make money. Opportunities are few and far between, and I panicked. And so that's what you don't want to do. And I definitely learned that lesson the hard way, and I'm definitely not going to do that again. I'm going to make sure I don't do that again. And even if I can just stay small green in this type of market and just kind of coast near the highs of my P&L, that is success. That is success in a slow market. In a slow market, if you're just not losing money, then you're doing something right. So momentum is going to come back. It's just a matter of when. Could be a couple days, could be next week. I don't know, it could be next week. It's the end of the week. Maybe things will shift over the weekend. Maybe we'll get some good PR on Monday. So it will be a full week next week. So maybe it was slow this week because it was a short week. So maybe next week will be different. But yep, that's it. That's the recap. The week ain't looking too good. This week didn't look too good. Last week didn't look too good. But things are still looking up. Even though P&L is down, I'm still feeling good and optimistic about my future potential as a trader. And I'm definitely never going to stop. I'm never going to stop. I'm going to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing until I make it. So 6 figs, 7 figs, 8 figs, 10 figs, 11 figs, 12 figs, fig Newtons. I'm going for it all. So see you guys next week. If you guys are still watching, hit the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you're not yet a subscriber, and I'll see you guys next week. All right, peace out.